Responsible consumption and production is the 12th goal of 17 Sustainable Development Goals set up by United Nations since 2015 to maintain the sustainability of nature in the future that covers all aspects of life. Ensuring good use of resources, improving energy efficiency, sustainable infrastructure, and providing access to basic services, decent jobs, and ensuring a better quality of life for all are the reasons of why this 12th goal is meant to be. By at least 2030, responsible consumption and production goals has 11 targets to be achieved, and progress towards targets is measured using 13 indicators. Consumption and production are termed as a driving source of the global economy. They still depend exclusively on the use of the natural environment and resources in such a way as to continue to have detrimental effects on the world. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, integrating environmental sustainability and economic development remains a major global challenge to date. Over the last century, economic and social change has been followed by environmental deterioration that harms the very structures on which our future depends. In order to achieve economic growth and sustainable development, by changing the production and consumption of goods and services, we desperately need to reduce our ecological footprint.
The main challenges that the world are facing right now are food waste, high usage of global energy, and air pollution. Did you guys know that food waste is the biggest and common issue among the countries in the world? Recently, the statistics showed that around 1.3 billion tons of food are wasted. 1.3 billion tons of food. Crazy, right? It usually happens due to consumers' lack of appropriate planning, since we, irresponsible humans, tend to change the plan of preparation and forget to use the food on time. When the food becomes expired, we just throw it away and it will end up in the landfills. Little that we know, when the landfills are full, it contributes to global warming from the methane gas produced by the rotten food. Next is global energy. We consumed way too much energy for cooling and heating. In today's weather, we prefer to live the day by staying in a room with cooling effects from air conditioner, and some people can't sleep in a dark room at night. The worst part, most of us always forget to switch them off after using them, and that actually causes the environmental issue. This is because the usage of air conditioner at home for the purpose of cooling can increase the amount of hydrofluorocarbons in the atmosphere and destroy the Earth's ozone layers. Last but not least, air pollution. Most of us prefer to use our own car to reach to our destination, and because of that, there will be more consumption of petroleum, which one of the carbon dioxide emissions and lead to the increasing carbon dioxide in this earth. Carbon dioxide can give bad impacts towards the environment because it is a harmful gas that will increase the greenhouse gas effects.
Everyone deserves to live in a world where we produce just enough of what we need. Hence, there are ways for us to cut down on global consumption and production rates in order to produce efficient energy resources and provide a better quality of life for all. The most obvious ways to help the environment are to conserve energy by reducing the release of chemicals and waste into the air. This can be done by avoiding taking cars or carpool when possible. Car sharing cuts carbon dioxide emissions by up to 65%. Taking public transportation, walking, or riding a bike are better options. That can help the environment and your budget, as well as getting some exercise in. The next solution is to save electricity. Make sure you turn off lights, the TV, and other appliances when you are not using them. Lower your air conditioning when necessary and use energy-efficient light bulbs instead of regular bulbs, as they last longer. Besides that, wasted food usually ends up in landfills, where it eventually turns into a destructive greenhouse gas called methane. One of the easy ways to shop and eat more efficiently is to plan out the whole week's meals in advance. A planned list can avoid a cart overloaded with items that will ultimately end up in the trash. There are also other solutions that can be done, such as recycling, limiting the usage of water, use reusable beverage containers, and print as little as necessary.
Each of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals must have its own importance. What are the current importances of responsible consumption and production goals? Firstly is ensuring non-renewable energy such as water and electric can also be used by future generations. If these two energies are used uncontrollably, then the next generation will suffer from water and electricity shortages. Second, to guarantee production companies produce products that are sustainably produced, durable, and long-lasting. And last but not least is to ensure consumers are given education and awareness such as letting them know the material that has been used in the products. So what about the consequences in the future if we do not practice responsible consumption and production in our daily lives? If we do not practice responsible consumption and production, we will have to deal with a sea of rubbish. It is due to the waste of non-recyclable items that we use in our daily lives and that companies produce for our use. Second, we will be out of water and electric resources in the future. This is because these two resources can be depleted if they are not used efficiently because they are limited and cannot be renewed. Lastly, there will be global warming and climate change in the land we live in due to excessive and uncontrolled use of chemicals and toxic substances by factories and companies.
In Islam, ethics and spirituality, including environmental ethics, are guided based on the sources of divine revelation in the Quran and the authentic collection of hadith. From the very beginning of human existence on earth, environmental stewardship has in reality been divinely mandated to humans. The Quran shows the Prophet Muhammad as a mercy for all creatures, as well as an outstanding human civilization role model. In the context of current ecological issues and sustainable consumption, a number of examples can be used from the Hadith, which is the compilation of narratives describing the sayings and deeds of the Prophet. For example, eating with 3 right fingers may help keep one's hand clean and healthy, prevent food contamination, limit food intake and so forth. We may need to ask ourselves today, when will we begin playing our parts in saving this earth?